What are the most cost-effective advertising channels for car dealerships? That's what we're talking about today on Better Dealerships.
Keep watching to find out which low-cost strategies can drive major traffic to your dealership. Plus, we'll be covering more news, views, tips, and strategies to help you sell more cars.
I'm Travis Miller.
And I'm Jimmy V.
And this is the show that helps you build a better dealership. AI-powered trade-in evaluations are driving new sales opportunities. Some dealerships are using AI to create faster and more accurate trade-in offers.
Hey, T, in a world where speed and accuracy are everything, dealerships are leaning into AI to improve trade-in evaluations. By integrating machine learning, some dealerships are providing instant, more competitive offers, attracting customers who want quick, transparent evaluations of their vehicles without the typical back and forth.
It's interesting. I think the big takeaway here is that using AI for trade-in evaluations can save time, reduce negotiation friction, and can help build customer trust. Dealers using these tools are reporting higher satisfaction rates and increased repeat business. Curious, are you using any of these AI tools in your business? Let us know in the comments. Hey, Jim, earlier you mentioned a resource, and we like to always keep our eyes open for interesting, unique tools, resources, things that can help make a better experience for people at a better dealership. And we're not getting paid on these things. We just like to share interesting ideas that we find. And today, this is an interesting product we wanted to bring your attention to. It's called Fume. It's an essential oil inhaler that helps promote relaxation, focus, and overall wellness. Everybody in a car dealership needs more of that, right?
Absolutely.
It is a unique non-electric device that's designed to provide a natural, stimulating experience through plant-based oils like peppermint and eucalyptus. There's no vapor. There's no nicotine. It's just delicious.
Oh. It's delicious.
It's delicious. Yeah. There's no vapor. There's no vapor, no nicotine, just delicious, natural, flavored air.
Yeah. And now, this is why this is useful. You know, in the car business, they say everybody can work half days. Just pick any 12 hours you want, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And so we know that working 60 plus hours at a dealership a week can be stressful. You know, there's so many things to do, to deal with: managing customer complaints, desking deals, negotiating with customers, handling inventory. Dealership employees, you know, they often face burnout, stress. But Fume can help. Fume offers a quick, refreshing way to take a little break, to de-stress, to refocus during those long shifts without the caffeine. And like you said, without the nicotine, just delicious, flavored air, man.
Exactly.
That's it.
Hey, check it out. Yeah.
Where can they find it? Where can you get a Fume?
Tryfume.com. That's tryfume.com. It's either Fume or a Yoo-hoo. That's what it's going to be.
Okay. They should try it. I'd like to try it myself, you know. Be fun.
By the way, if you're enjoying this episode, just a quick reminder to press the like button and subscribe to the channel for useful tips, and also turn on the notifications so you never miss a future episode.
Hey, be a thought leader. Got a friend? Send this to them. We'd really appreciate it.
It's that time of the episode where we talk about better books. You know, the people who know us well know that we are voracious readers. We read tons of books, both of us, and we have for a long time. It's ingrained in who we are. And I'm proud to say that we have inspired the lifelong habit and skill of reading in a lot of people in the car business.
Yeah, I know. Cool. Most people that come into our universe do not come in as readers, but they often become readers while they're with us. And that's because, and even if, here's the good news, if you're with us, you don't even have to become a reader if you don't want to, because what we do is distill the information, the most important, most impactful, most useful information from business books, and deliver it to our members in usable things. You know, we create things from the ideas.
Just watch the show. Just watch the show. It's the better book section of the show. It's a simple.
That's right. So what we're going to talk about today is a book that we have talked about with our dealers over the years, and we think this is a majorly important book and principle, and that is called The One Thing, The Surprisingly Simple Truth Behind Extraordinary Results by Gary Keller and Jay, and what is that? Papasan. Jay Papasan.
Yeah. And that's Gary Keller of Keller Williams fame, interestingly.
Yeah.
The real estate firm.
What I like about this book, T, is that the title pretty much says it all.
Yeah, and the book introduces this one critical question. And it's funny, we were just using this question, doing some planning for our own business last week.
That's how useful this is.
Yeah, and we first encountered this book over 10 years ago, and we're still using, I love books that have an idea that's so clear and so simple that 10 years after reading the book that you can come back to it, still use what you learned from the book.
A book that has, and a question that has that much power.
Yeah.
Wow. That's great.
And so here's
let's talk about the question.
Oh yeah, the question is, what one thing could you do that would make everything else easier or unnecessary?
Dan, just think about that question. There's a couple key things here. One thing, right? One thing, not two things.
No.
Not a short list of things. One thing. Just one. I know this is hard. This is what makes this question hard, but powerful. One thing that makes everything else easier, and I like the second part, or unnecessary. Man, that is a powerful idea. If you can solve one thing that makes a list of other things, like let's say we're just talking about a short list. If you have, what's the one thing on the short list that makes the rest of the items on the short list unnecessary?
Yeah, it knocks them off the list.
Them off. Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah. So for a dealership, this might be streamlining one critical aspect of your operations, which might be lead generation, sales process, or customer follow-up. And by focusing on that one high-impact task, you would increase efficiency and profitability, and all the other million things that you have on the list would become less important or unimportant completely. Right.
Right. That is a powerful idea.
He also talks about in the book a very important idea called time blocking.
Another thing that we have taught to our dealers over the years.
Yep. You want to dedicate different chunks of your day to working on specific things. And in the case of this, working on the one thing. So like you block off, I'm going to block off the first hour of every day to work on that one thing that I identified. Right. I'm not going to do the one thing last. I'm going to do the one thing first. Right. So, as a manager or an owner of a dealership, you could set aside time every day to focus solely on improving your sales training or working on your customer service or your marketing or lead gen, whatever it is. If you focus, the things that you pay attention to are the things that improve. And so often in business, we get distracted and we pay attention to the things that don't matter that much.
Yeah. Another thing that he mentions in the book is something called the domino effect, where small wins lead to bigger ones. By knocking down small, impactful tasks consistently, dealership owners can create momentum that drives overall success. Maybe it's improving the service department first, which then boosts customer retention and then drives more sales over time. Or maybe it's fixing your lead generation machine so that it's cost efficient and effective, and you have all the leads you need every month to hit your sales goals, and then the rest of the things fall into place. Focusing on the one thing rather than on all the things.
That's right. Listen, we all know there's a million things you could do. And so final tip from the book we want to share is to question everything. Look at this through this lens of what one thing, but look at everything like that. So like each of your direct reports, work with them to figure out what's their one thing. Right? Each customer interaction, what's their one thing? Each new initiative that you've got, what's that one thing? Each project that you take on, what's the one thing that will really make the difference? I'll tell you an interesting sort of personal takeaway from this. Over the years, people would come to us, as leaders in our organization, and they want to know, what's the priority list? Here's 15 things, right? What order? Let's prioritize these 15 things. And what Jimmy and I would always sort of naturally do, especially after reading this book, is look in that list of 15 and circle one and say, we're going to do that. They go, okay, great. Well, what's second, third, fourth, and fifth? No, we don't know about that. We're going to do that. We're going to focus on that one thing. And then when that's done, we'll come back and say, all right, well, what next? What's the next one thing?
Because first of all, by the time you're done with that one thing, a whole bunch of other things could have changed.
Mhm.
If you did that one thing well enough, then maybe that thing has created opportunities that now dictate the next one thing,
Yeah.
right? That isn't
Constantly in
even on the
flux.
list yet. May or may not even be on the list. So always focus on the one thing, and everything else gets better.
What are the most cost-effective advertising channels for car dealerships?
Why pay more when you can sell for less? The secret to boosting sales without breaking the bank might actually be hiding in the advertising channels you're overlooking.
Yeah, how about that? Everything's going digital. Everything's gone digital, obviously. Car dealers have been advertising and marketing, since the dawn of time. But things have changed a lot in the last 10, 15 years. And there's so much more fragmentation. Like, dealers used to have just a handful of choices. It was pretty easy. You knew exactly what to choose. Now there are certainly dozens of choices, and not everything works. Certainly not everything is effective as, other options that are more effective. Everybody wants their advertising dollar to go as far as possible.
Stretch it, baby. You got to stretch it.
You've got, these global online channels. You've got local niche marketing opportunities. Better dealerships benefit from balancing their spend across the channels that give them the most measurable results, but also a little bit of a secret sauce here, help them stand out in the sea of sameness that really plagues most dealerships.
And look, we've dealt with dealers pretty much our entire professional careers. The thing is, what I know
you
about
have a professional career?
Well, if you want to call it that. I mean, semi-professional? I don't know.
Okay, I'll agree with semi-professional.
The thing about dealers is they want to know what, out of all of the things you can do, what they should do based on what goals they have. And most of the dealers I talk to, their goals are to sell more cars, generate more leads so they can sell more cars, and hit their goals every single month. And they want those goals to go up every month, and they want their car sales to go up every month along with them, right? So what we do best is streamline all the options into the things that work the best when done properly. And that's what we're really going to talk about today, are what are in our opinion, the most cost-effective ways to drive traffic and sell more cars at dealership. So,
well, and really, I think, Jim, before we share our opinion, I think we should take a broader look at the best practices. What does the industry believe are the most cost effective? And I wouldn't say that we necessarily disagree with these, but we tend to have a penchant for challenging authority and thinking outside the box.
Yeah.
And that's a nice way of saying it.
Yeah. We're kind of typically don't always ascribe to best practices, but in this case, I think the best practices, when done properly, do align with what we've experienced helping dealers, over the 50 combined years that we've been doing this. And the first one is more in line with the trends, I guess you could say, and that's Google My Business and local search engine optimization.
Well, this is really the foundation. Like,
this is the yellow page. This is what the yellow pages used to be, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, in the old days, you needed to be in the yellow pages, and you needed to, have a presence in the Sunday car section, right? That's kind of how people found you. Well, this is the new that, right? The Google My Business and local SEO are the yellow pages and Sunday car section of today.
Yeah, I agree with that. And they're the foundation of any other marketing that you do. Like, people, whether they're looking for you specifically or they're looking for, a dealership for service or sales, if you want a shot at showing up, then you've got to have a good strategy here. And these tools have gotten pretty sophisticated now. It's not as simple as it used to be. It used to be sort of a, set it and forget it, just put in your name and address and, hours, and everything else would take care of itself. But they've added a lot of new, features and tools inside of those, inside of these consoles, essentially. And here's something that you might not even know, that Apple is currently developing or redeveloping its own
Maps app, I guess.
Yeah, the Maps app. They call it ABC, Apple Business Connect.
It's
and
like Google My Business for Apple phone.
Right.
iPhone.
They've been for years relying on Yelp data, right? Which I know most dealerships dislike, right? And now Apple is sort of slowly moving toward its own platform, Apple Business Connect. Most dealerships we talk to aren't even aware of that and have not claimed their Apple Business Connect property and certainly haven't set it up, which is crazy.
And certainly aren't leveraging it. Like, and this is the thing with Google My Business too. As you said before, it used to be set it and forget it. Well, now Google My Business or Google Business Profile is more like a social media, like that you interact on. You interact with customers, you update it regularly, you post to it, and there are things that you need to do in that regard to ensure that your profile stays relevant, stays fresh, and stays top of the search engines.
Well, this can have a big impact. A mid-sized dealership we know saw a 15% increase in foot traffic by prioritizing local SEO and optimizing their Google Business Profile, and that allowed the customers that they needed to work with and wanted to work with to find them organically and easily, and instead of solely relying on paid ads. Not that that's a bad thing, but
no. And I do want to say one other thing before we move on to tactic number 2, which is not going to be surprising, but is important. The local SEO thing, as with everything, Google changes the rules on SEO all the time. They change, and now AI is affecting SEO in a major way. And there are a whole new slew of dynamics and metrics and, what do you want to call it? Things that you need to do to make sure your page is ranked.
Criteria.
Criteria. What used to be search engine optimization is now search everywhere optimization. It's going to take authority. It's going to take content generation to rank. And here's why these two things are critical. As you said, they're the base, they're the building blocks, because no matter what other media you run, people are going to go back to their browser, they're going to go back to the search engine, and they're going to search for you. And whether or not you come up is all based on how good you do here at the foundation with these two items.
Okay, let's move on to number 2, which is, like you said, no big surprise, Facebook and Instagram ads. That's
right. You got to put your ads where people's eyeballs are, right? That's kind of the big idea. You got to be where they're looking. And so we can use Facebook, we can use Instagram advertising to put our messages in front of our target audience.
Well, and one of the beautiful things about selling cars is that this is something we refer to as the miracle of the car business. Is that everybody wants a nicer, newer car, even if they're not searching. And so much attention in the business, in the industry, seems to be focused around matching, advertising directly to intent. And that is possible to do on Facebook and Instagram, but it's not necessary because that really does drive up the cost to advertise. And what we found is that you can get extremely low cost per deliveries, advertising cost per delivery, simply by advertising to a wide open demographic of adults in the right geographies and having compelling ads and reasons that move people, accelerate people into the market if they're not actively searching.
Right. You cast a wider net using the right creative strategy and the right metrics to ensure that your ads are hitting and resonating and converting the way you want them to. And if you do that right, you can get more leads than you know what to do with using just Facebook and Instagram. And you get a cost-efficient result, right? That's the whole point. We can drive down the cost as we drive up the quantity and the quality of the leads.
I mean, we're working with one dealership right now that's getting leads from Facebook at between $3 and $4 per lead, which is crazy. And at scale, at great quantity. And I would say that that's not a typical result. More typical is something like, $8 or $9, $10. But we've seen it down there in the $3 to $4 range, and we've seen cost per delivery sub $200 from Facebook. And what's really nice is that it's it's a well that you can keep drawing from. You can go back to it time and time again and keep getting more customers. So it's a really effective channel to go and get more customers from.
The third channel that you can drive customers to your dealership from and sell cars with is email marketing and text campaigns. Now, obviously, there are legal issues with email marketing and text campaigns, but all of that is manageable. And if you manage it properly, you can leverage these two strategies to one, recession-proof your dealership. Create a relationship with your prospects and customers that connect them to you. As in gravitational marketing parlance, we keep these people orbiting you and keep them in your universe so that they never leave, and you can convert customers that you've done business with before. You can bring them back into your orbit, back into your store. Customers that you've never sold to, unconverted leads, or even just prospects, leads that have been sitting in your database, can be reconverted into powerful prospects that turn into business. You can use these two strategies to do that. You can also use data mining through these two channels to bring in a specific kind of prospect on a specific kind of offer. Your existing database is gold if you know how to leverage it.
Yeah, most dealerships really don't. But one dealership we know sent an email promotion offering exclusive trade-in deals to past customers. Spent less than $100 doing it. I mean, I don't even know what he spent $100 on because email is free, right? And the result was
maybe some list cleanup, some matching, some criteria stuff.
Got a 10% response rate and sold 5 new cars just from the email. Of course, that's an extraordinary result. I mean, wouldn't we all love to send an email and send 5 cars? Of course. But we see the same things happen when you reactivate your database using SMS. So a lot of tools available to do that, and we've seen a lot of success come from dealerships who use this. So those 3, local SEO and your Google business profile, Facebook and Instagram, and email and text are the 3 sort of best practice, lowest cost marketing channels that most people agree on. But there's a 4th one that gets very little attention these days.
Everybody wants to forget it because it's, I guess feels archaic.
Yeah.
Feels like Stone Age stuff. Like everybody's done this, tried this, played out. And that is the most overlooked of them all for cost, efficiency, and power to drive leads at scale and deliver powerful ancillary benefits like making you stand out in the marketplace and someone that everybody knows as the go-to person, creating essentially a category of one and making you the only and obvious choice in the market is still today. I know it's going to sound crazy. Travis, tell them what it is.
Jim's talking about radio.
Radio. No, not digital radio.
No, that doesn't do anything.
Not Pandora or Spotify ads. No.
Radio, terrestrial radio.
Regular radio.
Yeah.
Regular radio, where you probably put your ads before.
Yeah.
Done properly with the right buying strategy, with the right creative message that encompasses scarcity, urgency, and believability, with a message that taps into the conversation that's already going on inside your prospects' heads, that talk about the solutions you provide, not the vehicles you sell, that talk about what's important to them, what's in it for them, where they are right now, not where you want them to be when they're in a buying mode. We got to move them from where they are to where we want them to be. And so you have to talk to them where they are, not where you want them to be, not where you think that they are, not where most of the traditional customers might be in the buying cycle. You have to speak to them further out. And if you do that, you can drive them in. And here's the beauty of why this is so effective and cost effective, is because when you can drive them in at scale to your business at this point where they are at this moment, they bypass all of the shopping process. They bypass all of the other dealers' websites. They bypass the cars.com and the third-party lead vendors, and they come right to you because you are the one offering the solution, a unique solution that can help them get from where they are right now to the buyer circle.
Yeah, that's a huge secret. It's not what a lot of people want to hear, but it is a piece of truth and wisdom there, which Jim just shared with you. And really nothing can duplicate the effect that can have. And scale is the key. I mean, it's a tool for scale, really, to scale when cost effectively. That there, I'm not sure there's a better option. So,
and you know what, Travis, when you combine all 4 of these and you do them all efficiently and well, watch out. That is how you create a scalable, cost-efficient marketing strategy for a car dealership that doesn't just work today, but works in perpetuity. And you can end the endless hunt for the next shiny object and do this. It's awesome. It's powerful. It's cool. Hey, we'd love to know what you think about what we've been talking about here today. Share your thoughts below. Let us know in the comments. What are your most cost-effective advertising channels?
Hey, we look forward to hearing from you. And let's continue this conversation. Head on over to betterdealerships.com and join our Facebook group. It's the best way to stay connected with us and all of the other dealerships in the Better Dealerships universe.